Hey everybody, this is Norman,
And Debbie.
and this is week 9 of the legislative session, the last week. So what we're going to do in this video is go rapid fire over all the bills we worked on this session and just hit them real briefly, and then to learn more you can join us at our report events coming soon. So we're going to start with House Bill 1080, the Help Not Harm bill. This is one that you saw in the media a lot. This is the bill that said that we're not going to do transgender like surgeries or injections that sterilize kids here in South Dakota. So under 18 for minor children, we're not going to do the surgeries, the sterilizations, the injections, etc. Really glad to see that pass through with so much momentum, which was honestly a bit surprising at the momentum that went through. 60 to 10 on the House side, 30 to 4 on the Senate side. Really grateful to see so many legislators stand up for vulnerable children here in the state. But let's move to the next bill.
All right, so Senate Bill 57 also came up very early in session. That was a bad bill that would have taken activities away from homeschool kids that had open enrolled in another school district. And we were able to kill that in the first committee, which was really a big victory.
Yep. Next we'll do Senate Bill 193. This was a bill that said schools need to have policies on the front end of adopting content and materials to say that parents can be involved in reviewing it just to make sure it's age appropriate. Again, permissive language can be involved. And then they need to have a policy on the other end if there's someone finds something that they believe is inappropriate, to have policies for review if there's inappropriate material found. That bill died in committee, unfortunately, but people are keeping the issue alive, working it on the local levels, and keeping moving forward.
And House Bill 1163 was really along the same vein as that. It started in the House Education Committee, and it just had to do with public libraries and also giving parents a way to get obscene material out of a public library. Really good testimony, but it failed in the first committee.
Another bill that, again, failed in the first committee is House Bill 1223, giving students the option to do virtual school if that works best for them within the public school system. Also, House Bill 1116, this was the bill dealing with obscene performances. We saw a lot of questions about this after the SDSU drag show that was advertised as family friendly. So one important piece of this bill, House Bill 1116, was clarifying that the Board of Regents, Board of Technical Education, and the individual institutions, they do have the authority to determine which events are family friendly and which ones are not. Unfortunately, that died on the Senate floor. It was smoked out, but then not calendared, so the bill died on the Senate floor.
Yeah, and then we have 3 pro-life bills. The pro-life bills that were brought this year were really had broad support, so they passed pretty overwhelmingly. So I'm just going to go through those really quickly, but there was a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes, but we're really happy that these 3 passed. So we had Senate Bill 75, which came out of the governor's office. It just clarified that when an unmarried woman has a baby, that the father is responsible for part of the expenses from the moment of conception, pregnancy-related expenses. And then House Bill 1220 just clarified that we do not criminalize the mother for an unlawful abortion. And then we had a resolution, SCR 602, that congratulated the Supreme Court and commended them on passing the Dobbs resolution that sent abortion back to the states.
Next we'll do House Bill 1092. This was the bill on marriage. The bill sought to change our laws so that marriage was between any 2 persons. We were in committee to oppose this bill just because moms and dads are not optional, and the state should never be in the position of saying that any 2 persons is just as good as your married mom and dad. So we were glad to see that bill go down in the first committee, but that also sparked the story that kind of blew up across the nation when Representative Healy sent her message saying that our statement that the home of the married mom and dad is the safest place for a kid is dangerous and un-American. So it was kind of an interesting story to watch blow up. I think her tweet received over 4.6 million views on Twitter, a bunch of different national stories written, and it was great to see support from across the nation as people reached out to us and saying, hey, thanks for standing up for marriage and thanks for not caving on this issue.
Yeah, that was awesome. And then we had 2 bills that were about pregnant minors and whether they could consent to their own treatment. This was a bill that passed the House and Senate last year and was vetoed by the governor. This year it came back as 2 bills, House Bill 1223 and House Bill 1225. We were in committee to testify against those bills, And we were thrilled to have our new Secretary of Health come, and she just hit it out of the park. Those bills died, well, the first one died so hard that the sponsor tabled the second one. So we were so grateful for the governor's office and the Secretary of Health for coming and just, you know, doing a really great job of explaining why that was such a bad idea.
Another issue that we've had the governor's office support on this year is multiple gambling issues. So we'll lump these all together. So the first one was Senate Bill 117, which would have increased the bet limit and win possibility in video lottery here in the state. We were glad to see that one go down in committee. HJR 5006 would have put on the ballot mobile sports betting. So again, we were glad to have Department of Revenue support there in killing that resolution that would have put that on the ballot for, again, mobile sports betting. Right now it has to be in a casino in Deadwood. And so there's a big difference between in a casino with your friends enjoying a burger and on mobile devices all across the state. The potential for addiction dramatically skyrockets. Senate Bill 209, again similar, but instead of mobile sports betting, it was kiosk sports betting in certain casinos outside of Deadwood. So across the state, like basically kiosk sports betting. The sponsor didn't receive the support he was hoping for, so that bill was also tabled because he just didn't see the momentum he was hoping for. Then a good bill on the topic that we were looking for was House Bill 1157. This was Representative Mills' attempt to say that if we're going to advertise the lottery and gambling in South Dakota, we need to tell both sides. So right now, they're advertising that it's good fun, but we need to advertise the potential for addiction and the help that's available. You know, we see this on alcohol, we see warnings on smoking, we see warnings from the state. So he's basically saying, let's do the same thing, paint both sides. So that's a little bit of a recap of the gambling issues. That brings us to the end of all the bills we worked on this year. If you want a full report and full details, join us March 23 in Rapid City, March 28 in Sioux Falls for a full deep dive into all these bills and more. Go to fhaaction.org to register. We'd love to see you. Thanks for joining us this year. This is week 9. This is it. Thanks for all the emails you sent, all the petitions you signed, everything you've done, the times you've called your legislators. We couldn't have done this without you. So thanks, everyone. It's been a great year, and we'll see you at our next event.
Thank you.